People are seeking now more than ever. Gen Z is the first generation who's coming back to the church, but every day I've talked to people in my Bible study and say, man, you got to get plugged into a local church. Well, it's like, I don't know where to look. Typically what it costs to get somebody into church from a TV commercial, billboard, etc. On the low end, $150. On the high end, up to $350 for one person into that seat. I think there are better and more efficient ways for you to steward that money and 3 to 5x that same investment. We want to make sure it's authentic, it connects with people, and we reach people right where they are. Step 1 is most churches can welcome new guests within 30 days. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it and how to do it ethically without adding more work to your existing staff. Really quick, a little bit about us, our theology, what we believe, and why I'm even credible in speaking with you today. So first, it all stems back to this scripture right here. 1 Corinthians 3, 6 through 7 says, I planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the growth. We believe that church growth and growth in general comes from God and God alone. But we are called to faithfully plant and water and sow seeds. And today in 2025, sowing those seeds comes from online outreach and being out and about online. And posting your sermons online and posting them and clipping them on YouTube and Instagram, that's great. Number 1, that's for the person that's already seeking. We want to reach the people who are lost. Additionally, what we found is most pastors, when they post that stuff, it's not reaching their local audience. You're getting views and engagement and likes all over the place, while still you aren't seeing new people come and walk through your doors every single Sunday. That's what I am aiming to fix in this video. Really quick, my name's Javi Chavez, CEO of Kingdom Rev. And really what I've been doing over the last few years and what qualifies me to talk about this subject in particular. On the secular side, I've helped generate over $50 million in online revenue, managing millions and millions of dollars of ad spend every single year across a variety of different industries. But most recently and most importantly, over the last couple of years, I helped launch a nonprofit that has hosted thousands of people, brought thousands of people to Christ, and right now, today, a version of our Sunday system is bringing 20 to 30 new people to Christ every single day. So I know it works. Last year alone, we hosted over 3,000 Bible study meetings in person, at local churches, and also virtually online. So the systems that we have in place, I know work and are bringing people to Christ. And that's why I'm so passionate about sharing it with you, with the local church, because even though we've done a great job at our nonprofit in bringing people together and bringing people to Christ, there's no substitute for the local church. There's no substitute for fellowship. There's no substitute for connection and having a home pastor. And this is why I am so passionate about helping you. And let's get into the content. Enough about me. So now these are the challenges, or I guess the problems that I see with the local church today. Number 1, word of mouth. Word of mouth is biblical, it's great, it's how things have grown, but it is inconsistent in many cases. Relying on our congregation to invite somebody to church on Sunday or on Easter or on Christmas just isn't enough for most churches, and it just is inconsistent. The next thing that people think about doing are billboards, TV ads, radio ads, commercials, all these things, and it's broad, and honestly, it's not great stewardship. We are called to steward faithfully the things that we are entrusted. That means our resources. So when a church decides, and if you can get your church to decide, to even invest any money into a marketing budget, and you're spending it on things that aren't trackable, again, like TV commercials, radio ads, all these things, it's very challenging to be able to see a direct return on your spend. Additionally, I've seen the numbers. You guys can look this up online. Typically, what it costs to get somebody into church from a TV commercial, billboard, etc., it's on the low end, $150. On the high end, up to $350 for one person into that seat. Now, if I knew spending $150 or $350 meant somebody coming to Christ, yes, I would make that investment as many times as I could. However, I think there are better and faster ways and more efficient ways for you to steward that money and 3 to 5x that same investment, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Next, and you might be thinking this too, it's like, man, we've tried the digital marketing thing. We've had somebody in our congregation who said they knew paid ads and we just wasted our money. I understand that. And I understand if you are having people in your congregation who think they can help and maybe they have genuine intentions. However, but just by you watching this video, I mean, I've talked about our credibility. Very few people have the experience and the marketing expertise and the knowledge and everything that our team has. And so we're just trying to use our gift to share everything that we know with you. And you're going to be a lot more better off by the end of this video. Next, and the big mistake that I see, are congregations are spending all this money on church software and all these things when you don't have a congregation or you don't have a clear set way of bringing people into your church. So we have to focus on getting people at the top of the funnel, if we're going to use a marketing term. We have to focus on getting people to be aware of you in your local area, because here's the biggest challenge. People are seeking now more than ever. Gen Z is the first generation who's coming back to the church, but every day I've talked to people in my Bible study and say, man, you got to get plugged into a local church. Well, it's like, I don't know where to look. People are seeking online more than ever. And here's the truth. If we are not the ones to reach the lost, online, there is a new age spirituality guru, new age person talking about weird spirituality stuff who understands digital marketing, who is connecting with those people. We have a duty to take up digital real estate, and this is how we do it. The last piece and the last challenge that I see right now with churches and the marketing that they're doing are, again, they're focusing a lot on just posting the YouTube sermons, posting the clips, and that is extremely valuable. It's great for people who are already seeking, and it's great for credibility, and it's great to grow the church organically. But those views and those likes don't translate into seats, because they are reaching people all across the world, and that's amazing, but we need to get people locally, and that's what targeted outreach can do. Reach people locally. And the best part is, if you're already posting these sermons, we already know what's working and what's converting, so now we can use that information and we can use the videos you're already creating to bring it locally into your area and target people who are seeking in your backyard. And another note on stewardship. Stewardship isn't spending less, it's spending wisely. I talked about the cost of billboards, TV ads, all these other things, ranging between $100 to $300 to get somebody to the seat. What we found with our system is we can get somebody to opt in for close to $5. Now, obviously, there's other things in the funnel that we have to make sure to get them actually into your church, but imagine if spending that same amount of money, we could get 5 more people to Christ versus just that one. And that's what our Sunday system is all about. Good and faithful stewardship and bringing people to Christ through your local church. So to be clear, we cannot put a price on salvation. And like I said earlier, if I knew reliably spending that $300 would bring somebody to Christ, I would do it as many times as possible. But now I can bring 5 to 6 times the amount of people to the faith with the same budget. And truthfully, I don't know if there's anything else I would spend my money on if I was an organization, if I was a church, besides that. So clearly you know where I stand when it comes to paid outreach and these types of things. So the next question is like, well, what do I do? How do I do it? And that's what we're gonna break down right here. So the first thing is, well, like, what do I do? Well, we found to be the best locations to optimize these things. And by the way, this is actually what you should do before you worry about SEO, before you worry about copywriting, before you invest in any of these other strategies that a lot of people online are trying to vie for your attention on. The best thing and the fastest way that you can get people into seats is online outreach, predominantly through Facebook and Instagram, because that's where the majority of the population are. And it makes it so much easier to connect with people online. I think Google ads are great, and we can talk about that in a separate video. For the sake of this video, this is what we're gonna talk about. The Sunday system really integrates with Facebook, Instagram, bringing people to the faith where, they're already scrolling. So here's exactly how I would break all of this down. The first thing you're gonna do is create 3 to 6 different ad creatives. When I talk about a creative, what this is this is the actual ad that you see. Quick note, what you should already have on your website. You guys can write this down. It's the Facebook pixel and the Google pixel. To be clear, what this does is, when you look at a t-shirt and then all of a sudden you start to see that t-shirt company all over your feed, it's the exact same thing for churches. So if people are visiting your page, but it does typically take 7 different touches or 7 different times of seeing your church and seeing your location before somebody actually makes a decision on whether or not they want to come and come to your location specifically. So if somebody's visiting the site, we want to make sure that we can reach those people when we are running our traffic and connecting with people. So step 1 is add the Facebook pixel and the Google pixel to your website. Very simple. You copy and paste. Anybody can figure it out. Next, once you have that added, we need to film 3 to 6 different ad creatives. And they can be very generalized, and I'm sure you've seen some of these online. It's like, hey, this is Pastor so-and-so. I would love to invite you to church. My church does this, and I think they do a great job of it. Additionally, we're gonna have other ads, and I'm actually gonna include a full document and a template in the notes below of a few different ad ideas that have worked really, really well for us. Next, if you're not so good on camera, then we have static graphics, and I'm also going to include those below too. Once you have those ads, and the ad creative is the most important piece of all this. It's the first that they see. Once we understand that, the next thing we're going to do is we want to create a landing page. And with these landing pages, I know it sounds like very technical and difficult. It's very, very simple. We want a place for them to submit their name, their email, their phone number, and that's it. You don't need to collect a bunch of different information about them. If you're great on camera, it's amazing to have what we call a video sales letter, a little video at the top introducing yourself, saying who you are, what you believe in at your church, childcare, all the stuff that people are going to worry about. And then additionally, at the bottom, you can have some more copy about you. A big mistake that I see pastors make, and I see with ads that are running, they are running them straight to their homepage, which in theory sounds great, but the problem is when you send somebody straight to the homepage, there are so many different options and buttons, and a confused person doesn't make a decision. We want a clear outcome and a clear place for them to go. So again, name, email, phone number, a quick video from you if possible. If not, just outlining where they can expect, when they'll get there. Once they put their name, email, and phone number in, you can route them into your system or your software. But what we do is immediately after, and this is just what people come to expect, they want things immediately, we send a quick text message, and you can make this as personalized, and I recommend making it as personalized as possible, saying, hey Javi, thank you so much for submitting your information. We're looking forward to seeing you on Sunday. Here are the details of the service, what you can expect. We'll see you soon. You can respond back here if you have questions. What we do is we make sure that that's monitored, because people ask questions. Hey, what can I expect? And they want that personalized touch when communicating and connecting with their local church. And then Saturday evening, or whenever your service is, right, the day before, we want to send out another text message. And my church does this every single Sunday, or every single Saturday. I get a message from my church saying, hey, can't wait to see you. Here are the times. I'm coming to church. I know what the times are, but I've come to expect it right around 3, 4 o'clock every single Saturday. And having this repetition, you'd be surprised how many, when you have additional touch points, how much that attendance rate improves, not only for these new people, but for your existing congregation. So imagine even if you didn't get a new person to church, but the existing congregation that you have. If we could just increase their show rate, how many more people would be impacted by your message every single Sunday? I'll also include a couple templates of what we say in the notes below, so that way you guys can kind of copy and paste and use those in your own messaging as well. Additionally, as this grows, it's going to be beneficial for you to have somebody dedicated to welcoming these people. So usually the same person who's monitoring the messages coming through. And again, for like what we do with our team is I would recommend having somebody there, texting them back and forth, and when they show up, welcoming and greeting them, because you want to make them feel welcome when they're exploring and entering a new church. And a lot of these people probably haven't been to church in a really, really long time. So we want to make sure it's a great experience for them. And here is where things get really powerful. And when I talk about good stewardship, everything is trackable when you have this system. What you're able to see is how much money am I really putting out? how many people are coming through and putting their information in and wanting to connect with you at your church, then how many people are actually making it to Sunday? And then we can start to put some numbers together and predictably steward our budget, and then be able to come back to our board or whomever and say, hey, we know if we invest X amount of dollars, we will get X amount of people to church every single Sunday, see X amount of salvations, see X amount of families saved. Look, I am so passionate about this because I am a direct recipient of online outreach and eventually finding somebody online who then shared the gospel with me in person. And because of that, my life has changed, my family's life has changed, and the ripple effects are enormous. You know, now we're helping bring people to Christ. And so having this online outreach, while it may feel new, it may feel a little scary, or feel like something, we want to make sure that it's authentic, it connects with people, and we reach people right where they are. Paul was preaching in marketplaces and town squares. Today, those marketplaces and town squares, they happen online, and this is where we need to reach people in 2025. So if it is something that's interesting, I hope, number one, this video is valuable. We have a lot more content coming out to you about everything else that we do in order to connect with people. But if it is something that's interesting and you want to see if my team can help serve you, I would love to connect. You can click the link, fill out the form, and we'll be connecting soon. Otherwise, God bless you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one.